Are you one of the millions of Americans that were hoodwinked, bamboozled, duped, lied to? Chances are that you are. And we're going to talk about it. Now, my name is Cece.
And I'm Jason.
And we're a husband and wife team dedicated to helping you reclaim your physical and financial health. And on this installment of Chat with the Chains, we are talking about some lessons we learned and that some people had to learn the hard way on the McMillions docuseries. So, Jason, some people may not know what we're talking about here. So briefly just kind of tell them, what is this scandal that happened with McDonald's?
So you may not actually know the McMillions docudrama.
Docuseries?
Yeah, docuseries, whatever they call it. But have you ever played the McDonald's Monopoly game?
Yeah.
Where you can win $1 million, win I think it was I can't remember the name of the car, but a little sports car, muscle car, Dodge Viper, that's what it is.
I won French fries, and that's about it.
Or you could win food.
Right. And
so you may not have known this. You never had a chance to win the grand prize.
Or really any of the top prizes.
Yes. And the thing with it is, you didn't have a chance in the beginning when it first came out. You didn't have a chance when it came out the second time or the last time when it came out. And the reason why is if you were not one of the people paying the guys who were stealing the tickets, you had no chance of winning.
Right. So this one blew my mind. I was like, what? So I don't know about you, but when this thing, I was really young when this came out, but I thought it was like this really cool thing. Like I could go to McDonald's, order some French fries, and be a millionaire. Like, what? I could be a billionaire. All I have to do is order some fries, right? And this idea that you could get something for nothing, like, it was so cool. Like, so cool. And then we watched this thing only to learn that all of the people who won any of the top prizes paid for it.
Yes.
Right? So none of us, the millions of us who were alive in the 90s and the early 2000s who played the game, none of us had a chance of actually winning.
If you actually went to the store, you wasn't winning anything more than a free fry, maybe a buy one, get one free. That's about it.
All the lower level prizes were available, right? So you could get the food, maybe you could get a little bit of cash, but the big prizes were all not available to you. So, we talk about this, I think, for a couple of reasons. But Jason, what was your biggest lesson you think came out of that particular docuseries?
For me, it was funny because it related to the book Vibrational Money Immersion that I keep reading. What we're reading.
Right, love it.
And it talks about the law of economics. And it talks about how you will never receive anything without giving something up or growing into the person that deserves that.
Right.
And it was interesting because all the people, whether they were actually scammed or part of the scam, or they was just, what's the best word? They were lied to.
Right.
No matter what, all of them were trying to get something for nothing. And they wasn't growing into the person that deserved that.
Yeah.
And so it was funny because all of them ended up facing either some kind of jail time, probation. But the one that really stuck out to me was the one guy who he felt like he was innocent. I didn't do anything wrong. I was wronged here. And it was funny because he did not know they were stealing it from McDonald's, but he was willing to be an accomplice in helping a guy. This was a story he was told that, this guy's getting a divorce, he won this, and he don't want to have to give half to his wife.
Right.
So he didn't have a problem stealing money from the wife who deserved half of whatever. If it was a real story, she deserved her half from the divorce.
Yeah.
And he didn't see anything wrong with it. And he was like, I'm a victim. The people looking at me some kind of way. But the reality is, they should.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really interesting because he was talking about people didn't trust him like they had in the past. But he also wasn't taking any personal responsibility for the role that he played in this particular situation. And so, sure, he didn't know the lengths of what he was participating in, but there was definitely some things that he did know, right? Or that he thought he knew that were also not legitimate. So I think that was a really good lesson in personal responsibility. I don't know if everybody else watched that and saw that, but we were like, he's not taking any personal responsibility. What I found really interesting about this, and it also relates to the law of economics, was that all these people who thought, I'm going to pay $100,000 and win $1 million, or I'm going to, pay some small portion and get the rest. A lot of them ended up having a financial burden, right? Because you have to pay taxes on lottery winnings, which is essentially what this is. And so they thought that they were going to get something greater. And in reality, for some of them, they actually were in a worse financial situation. And I think that for me, that lesson was so huge because you have to be providing value. You have to be rendering useful service if you're going to actually create abundance in your life, right? Like there's no way around it. You don't get to skip the work, which I think we all want to, right? Like if we could wave a magic wand right now and be where we want to be in life, I don't know anybody who's going to say, no, don't sign me up for that. I want to struggle. I want to be miserable. Like,
if I could pay $10,000 for six-pack abs right now, I would.
Right. And we know that it's not possible. And I think that that's the power of a lesson like this, is that there is no easy way to be successful. Whether we're talking about making millions, or we're talking about having six-pack abs, or we're talking about hitting a certain level in our career, whatever the goal, we still have to put in the work in order to get it. So that was really the big lesson for me.
Yeah, and that was really good. And also another one that it showed me that is, and I used to think this way, and it scared me. Like, oh, you're a big company. There's no crime. There's no victim. Here's the reality. There was tons of victims.
Wow. Yeah.
All of us are victims. If you were eating at McDonald's at that time where you were spending your money on a legitimate game to possibly win something, you're a victim.
Yeah.
There were thousands probably millions of victims.
Yeah. And businesses were closed. And I think that was the part that I think, sometimes we tend to vilify large corporations, right? Like we tend to do that. But they provide a service and they provide value in the marketplace, or else they would not be as successful. And so this concept that somehow there's not really a victim, McDonald's makes plenty of money, like I didn't like that feeling. But also, like you were kind of explaining, like there are all these unintended consequences for what happened. There were entire businesses related to this game that closed down. People across the globe lost jobs because of the scandal of it all. Knocked companies out, and so there was some real suffering caused because people wanted to get something for nothing.
And two of the companies that got lost actually destroyed whole towns.
Communities impacted. This is what happens when there are major swings in economic situations, right? You see huge consequences spanning across things that you don't even expect, and that is what we saw in this example as well.
And it was really good. And so I know you're probably saying, so if there isn't a get rich quick, I'm not going to be able to scratch my way to the top or play the lotto and really win. What can I do? Yeah. Well, here's the thing. There's tons of ways to make money. We live in the technology era of the internet. You can actually make money from the fingertips of your phone. Like, it's crazy what you can do now in this world. So if you would like to know 10 actual ways to make money from home, just shoot us a message and we'll love to send that out to you. Ciao.